Welcome back. This is ABC, your Ambiba TV, and today I'm in the studios here with Dr. Tata Johnson, your very old friend and historian. But today we are not in here for history. We are in here for Ethics Commission, and we are going to be talking on an emerging Dunga and Mountain County. Now, before we go, we have been very much interested in getting things done and make sure that we bring you things as required. We want to first of all apologize for the late start. We will always do that. Our time is 10 p.m. and now it's about 18 minutes after the hour of 10 p.m. that we are starting. We hope Ambazonians who love this program will just stay put and make sure that you enjoy, you profit, not only enjoy, this is not for entertainment. So you will profit from what we have to tell you today. Dr. Tata, I want to strongly apologize for not being able to get the music you sent for us to get it going. But today, in our program, as I said, you are very much welcome. Last week, we had a real time with which county was there last week? Okay, I cannot get the county that was here last week.
Was it Mezam?
Today is Ndonga and Mantum. Let me just take a quick look here and see. Okay, last week was Manyu. We had Manyu County, and I'm telling you, Manyu County made us feel like getting back to Ambazonia. And in short, all the counties, because they have been practicing ethics even without actually having it put down as ethics. And so we always like to bring this recap to make our next county understand that in most of what we have been doing, we have been practicing ethics. And today, I would like you to just greet the people of Ndonga and Mantum. And then after that greetings, we will now go in to talk on the whole issue of Dunga and Mountain, not forgetting that they have 5 LGAs, and you will be able to tell us more about these LGAs. But then it's over to you. The microphone is over to you to greet the people of Dunga and Mountain. Over to you, sir. Don't forget to use vernacular also in some parts when you are greeting the people, because that will be very interesting. Over to you.
Yeah, on behalf of the people of the great country of Donga Mantum, I'm greeting our brothers and sisters in Ako, LGA, Amantrin. That is the local dialect. Good morning in Ako. Coming to Misaje County, LGA, I greet everybody. I remember your wonderful things that you do. You are always the first to come with some food crops to the city of Mkambe. And from the Mr. J LG, I come over to Mkambe LG that houses the whole the headquarters of the county, and I greet the people of Mkambe, Irawea, Yasake. So we go to Ndu LGA. I greet the people of Ndu LGA. Yasake, Bikuya, Yasake. So from Ndu LGA, I go over to Nwa LGA, and I greet the people in Nwa LGA from Sabongari right to Nwa. I'm greeting all of you right to Sea Village, Mbem, Mfumte, all the places, all the 48 villages in Nwa LGA. I salute everybody. Thank you very much, Pastor Commander.
Thank you very much for that. Greetings, Dr. Tata, for coming in. Remember, we are on ethics for a developing county, and that is the Dunga and Mountain County that we are here today. Before we go on, I have a monologue that I want to present before we go on to talk on laying the foundation for an emerging ethical Dunga and Mountain County, LGA by LGA. And thank you very much for greeting out our people in the LGAs that are in the county, in Kambe LGA, Nduka LGA, Nwa LGA, Ako LGA, Mesaje LGA. Thank you very much. Now, our monologue is that Ambazonian liberation movement is very unique compared to other revolutions in the world. Why? Because of the institution of an ethics commission during this time of war. We have not heard it anywhere, but we are going ahead and our people are being blessed. Our fathers had the foresight of the uphill battle we now face, and was to repair the destroyed moral fabric of the Ambazonian society. What holds a nation together is its moral values. Where there are no moral values, that society is completely devastated. La Republic's invasion and occupation of Ambazonia has taken a moral toll on Ambazonian, making moralizing Ambazonian again a battle we must fight to win. And that's why we are in here for this talk. The assault on our morality began when La Republic took out civics from our school curriculum. The importance of ethics in a nation cannot be emphasized enough. This is the right time for ethics awareness campaign in all tiers of government and communities in the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. It was this gentleman called Edmund Burke who said, "Liberty does not exist in the absence of morality." Ethics for an Emerging Nation is an educational program to help you with the information and tools you need to moralize your communities and governments. We have discussed topics like template forms for complaints or conflict resolutions, appeals, and financial conflict of interest disclosure forms. The interim government has, the Ethics Commission and the interim government has all these forms for resolving some conflicts that arise. We have also treated ethical leadership and its importance. We've gone ahead to talk on guidelines for receiving and giving gifts by government employees. We've also talked on the misuse of positions in governance, the role of people in upholding ethical standards in the nation. That's what we call civil society. The role of the church and its immoralizing the society. We've talked about that also. We've talked about standard codes of conduct for Ambazonians. We've talked of business ethics, media ethics, sport and cultural ethics, medical public health ethics, and so many. Ambazonians, we encourage you to watch those programs again on ABC Amba TV Facebook page and on YouTube. When you get there, you just go ahead and click on ethics and you'll get all those coming out. You can use this information to moralize your communities and your governments. If by next year, which I don't think so, our sovereignty is still not granted, you will be invited to give an update on your ethics awareness campaign in your LGA and in your county. When we are done with ethics awareness in counties, we will continue with the rest of the departments in the interim government, like the women's department, women services, education, DHA, DSS, Department of Foreign Affairs, and Department of the National Treasury, and so on. Ambazonia shall be great again by God's grace and mercy. We shall be great again. We will live fulfilled lives in our nation. So ethics is the key. And so today, with all this that we have done, we'll go straight ahead and ask Dr. Tata Johnson from Dunga Mountain County to tell us how your county is preparing to make sure that ethics is enforced and taught to our people when we get back home, and of course, how it is being practiced now as we are teaching. Over to you, Dr. Tata.
Yeah, thank you so much, Pastor Commando, for the opportunity you have given me to say on this line on ethics. Ethics is very, very essential. And I can tell you that in the ethnography of Dunga Mountain, when in those days you were in the market and your purse fell down, the person that picks it will take a susungu and pin it down and tie the purse on by the where it was picked up. That purse can be there for 1 week and nobody will touch it. That is the ethical value in all the villages and fandoms in the county. There are traditional council in place for conflict resolution, and it could be land something, it could be something, and it would then in the area in the various religious houses within the county, the leaders, they are versed in conflict resolution. So ethics is very, very important. In this presentation, many of us do not know what is an emerging Donga and Mountain County. And my presentation will tell us the reason why ethics in everything, ethics in agriculture, ethics in political realm, ethics within various sectors in the education and many other areas is very, very important to us in the county. We are looking at Donga Mountain as an emerging county. Let me give you the brief origin of Donga Mountain. Donga Mountain County gets its name from two rivers, the Donga River and the Mountain River. These rivers are very, very essential because they form the international boundary between Donga Mountain and Grand One. And there have been long history of kola nut trading between Grand One and Donga Mountain County. Donga Mountain County have been noted for a long history, having a long history of producing of kola nuts. Kola nut is believed to have the potential to produce confectionaries like bonbon, like the sweets, all right, candies. The county itself, as you will know, has 5 LGAs. Nwa LGA with the headquarters in Nwa, Nkambe LGA with the headquarters in Kambe, Ndu LGA with the headquarters in Ndu, and the other 2 LGAs are Misaje and Ako LGA. Nwa LGA is the oldest LGA. It was formed in 1963, and it has remained like that. It has never been reconstituted. Notably, we have had people that have shown us a typical example, blueprint of ethics in the life of the political realm. We remember late Reverend Andose, precisely from Mbande in Akko district. And we remember late Mr. Ndi of Tabiken, a contemporary of Reverend Andose. These were nationalists, nationalists to the core, who believed that total independence is very, very essential. They have an ethical value that they upheld until they went down into the grave. Time will fail us to talk about this other gentleman, late Dr. Ngwangubne of Tabiken, known for the Banjul case in Gambia that brought us as Ambazonia to historical landmark that we are a people, and the ruling was in favor of us. What was behind the man, Dr. Ngwangubne? It was because of there was that intrinsic ethical value that pushed him and said, I cannot see something going wrong, and I kept my mouth shut. And because of that intrinsic ethical value in him, that led him to really carry out this, that it has been our bedrock. Others are in the making. I just want to, because the emerging nation, an emerging country like Longa Mantung, we need to know so much about it so that when we talk about ethical values, we really know that we understand what we are saying. We take, for instance, Akko LGA. Akko LGA is made up of several villages. And in these villages, there are institutions, traditional institutions that have upheld ethical values. When we get into the various local the LGAs, we are just reinforcing and bringing addition to what have already ethnologically existed. We have within Akko LGA, we have and the 1 and the 2, Akwenko, Akwaja, Akko itself. You'll be surprised that there's a village in Akko LGA called Amba. Amba is a real village in that have been existing in Akko LGA. Then we have Asa. We have Abongshe. Abongshe is noted for great agricultural activities. And when we are talking about ethics here, we are going to also educate the people, our people, on the value of agricultural ethics. We have Abafum, we have Berabi, we have Ndaka, we have Mbande, we have Mbiribwa, we have Njimba Bua, we have Zaika B, and we have other villages. As I said, Abongshe is noted for the rich land, volcanic soil, very good in for agriculture. When we look at Akko, for the Akko LGA, the production of palm oil and the production of sabulu, that's the African black soup that is very antiseptic against scabies. Those things are very, very essential that we cannot do without putting into place some ethics. Otherwise, we don't want to be a banana kind of republic. That is a banana country where there is no ethics. When there is no ethics, things will not move very, very well. In Akko LGA, we have oranges too, we have cassava, we have other food crops. It's a famous place for the production of what I already said, sabulu, and other things that are very, very essential. Because of the climate and a lowland area, Akko district is noted for the production of Robusta coffee. Then there are wildlife sanctuaries because of the house forests that are the same characteristic with the tropical rainforest. It's very, very essential. Then we come from Akko district, we come to Misaje LGA as an emerging LGA. We look at Misaje with very deep potential for dairy factory. So we're looking at the ethics that can be observed in the factories when we set up the dairy factories in the long run, all right? We look at here, Mr. J has the Dumbu Cattle Ranch. Mr. J has the Kimbi River Forest, the Kimbi Reserve in the River Kimbi. River Kimbi flows in Mr. J LGA. And it's a good touristic site. So we think of the ethics around that area too. Then when we come to Mr. J again, we see that there is a need for that thinking of how to educate our people, because Mr. J fall within the rich area. From Mr. J to Nkambe to Binka to Nwa, from LGA, from LGA to Ndu LGA, part of Ndu LGA, going down to Nkambe LGA, going down to Mr. J LGA, there is a huge deposit of granite. Granite is very, very important in making breakable plates and breakable cups. So we can think of ethical structure that will preserve our industry as an emerging county, that we can even, in the long run, our county, Donga Mantung County, can be named as the granite country. Granite is also very good in road construction. So we'll just imagine ethics around that site. Then Nwa, when we look at Nwa, it's a good site for tourism, ethical tourism, ethics. What are the ethics that we have to educate our people in the area of tourism? And Nwa is one of the largest sites for cattle rearing in the county. In fact, it is almost every village in Nwa, they're rearing cattle, they are rearing goats. I mean, there must be ethics. There must be ethics to make the society to be peaceful in rearing, in animal husbandry, and so on. Nwa enjoys part of the Mbok Plain. Mbok Plain is one of the things that is a big feature in agriculture. We see Ndu LGA enjoying part of the Mbok Plain. Nwa LGA has the bulk of the Mbok Plain, and Kimbok in Bui County has part of the Mbok Plain. And it is believed from the records we have from other governmental sites there that Nwa had been the second producer of rice next to Ndop. Ndop, because of the mechanized way of farming rice, but Ndop, I mean, the Mbok Plain, that the people of the area, the Nwa LGA, enjoys the plain in having rice, having palm plantations, and in other words, our education will center around agricultural ethics to make sure that things run smoothly. Because when you look at LGA, LGA has basically two major languages, or three. The Yamba language and the Mfumte. Yamba and Mfumte language, they speak and understand each other. But Tikari is a multicultural place. The people, they speak Tikari, and it can be likened to the Upper Ngemba, part of the Tikari language. The Ngemba people will actually understand them. So Mwa itself, Mwa is peculiar. The LGA Mwa, we have 48 villages. 48, that is, Mwa has the largest number of villages in the DMC county. So we are thinking of the traditional ethics in governance within the traditional area. And in addition, this is a food for thought. Why must our Mwa LGA today, when I was making a little research concerning how we are going to bring out an emerging country with some ethics, I discovered that sadly that no electricity in Mwa, except they are using their private generators. No telephone in Mwa, except they are getting the little phone that they come from Ndu LGA telephone pole. There's no phone directly in Mwa. They actually have problem with communication. No pipe-borne water in Mwa. Can you imagine? Hello, investors. When you are sitting down and you are looking at our country, remember that please help us in Mwa LGA. When we come to Ndu LGA, the highlight in Ndu LGA is that Ndu is very notable for cocoyams, goats, food crops. Those of us from Mezam County, I know that Achu is very good there, but do you know that the cow skin for your Achu soup and the cocoyams is produced in almost all the counties in Dongamanton? They produce a large production of cocoyams, and also because of the cattle rearing, that is one of the major things in the county. Your cow skin supplies will come from this county. So we need to educate our people very well on this area of achu things. We don't eat achu, but we eat kuku. I mean fufu corn with jama, but we produce a lot of cocoyams that is good for Mezam County. So the cash crop here, we have the Arabica coffee in almost all counties except that of Akko. Akko is the only county that will produce Robusta coffee. And we also think of Gari factory, ethics around the Gari factories, because there are a lot of cassava are produced. Looking forward, we are thinking of having storage facilities for the food products that are done, and having because of the proximity to Mr. J, and Kambe can have a soya factory, ethics around soya factory. You know, kilishi, we can do kilishi that it can do for long, and people will enjoy it all over in Amazonia. That is just what I have for now.
Thank you very much, Dr. Tata. You've taken us to another area which is powerful. So, Amazonians, I'm very sure that with this appetite that Dr. Tata has given to us, you should look for a way to go and pinch a herd somewhere in Dungar Mountain in order to glean from these very natural resources that he has talked about, especially the achu cocoyams, where most of us from Bamenda, Bafut, Meta, and so on, we go by achu. Dr. Tata, thank you so very much, but I would like you to catch some breath as we listen to these beautiful people of Limbom give to us this wonderful piece of music, and we will be expecting that you will tell us a little bit after they have entertained, I mean, not bless us with the song. All right, let's go. Oh, thank you very much, Dr. Tata, for bringing us that beautiful piece over there from Dongan Mountain. I remember when I was growing up as a little child, we had only one church in our village, and we were not having drums in that church. We were very pious. But when one day there was one Baptist blind man who came to my village and brought this church they call Baptist Church. And with the drumming, oh boy, all of us went behind them. Yes, whenever they were going for baptism, it was exciting. So that's why I just got up and said, this is a place that is not only rich in all the resources, in some of the resources that Dr. Tata has talked to us, but it's also rich in their culture. And their culture is, let's bring in Dr. Tata to tell us a little bit about this song from their culture. And then we'll go ahead to talk more of our ethical values. Remember, Dr. Tata has actually, in the beginning sentences, he told us how that in the villages in that county, if a woman loses her purse in the market, for example, it will be taken and hung on a piece of wood and tree, and some grass tied there so that people can, and so that the woman can find it out and pick it up. And nobody will take it with all the contents that are inside. These are the values we enjoyed in Ambazonia, West Cameroon, former British Southern Cameroon, in those days, before these criminals came in with their thievery and their trickings and other things, and just took us off our feet, And today we are producing a lot of criminals as a result of this mixture. But Ambazonians, Southern Cameroonians, were people with a very big difference. And so we want to thank the Donga Mountain County for bringing to us this historical point that actually makes the Ethics Commission to be very proud that we are not going to have a difficult brainwashing of our people to get back into our ethical values as we had more than 60 years ago before these people came in. We know that our young men have been destroyed, but with some of us who actually saw and witnessed the ethical situation, I'm telling you, it was powerful. All right, so let's go. Dr. Tata, over to you to tell us a little bit about what we have just listened to, and then that I will give you some questions concerning the ethics that you have just spoken in all the areas that we have mentioned. We are very, very grateful that we have these ethical issues already going on in your LGA.
Yeah, the song that we just listened to, they just an analogy when the scripture says, I was glad when they said, let us go into the house of the Lord. So it was an invitation for mothers, for everybody to come, that there's joy in the house of the Lord. See, when you go to the house of the Lord, there is joy. Come and let us rejoice together in the house of the Lord. I forgot to mention in Cambe LGA. Cambe LGA is the home for a huge deposit of iron ore. So there's a future steel industry and also motor vehicle manufacturing industry that ethics has to be built around it. And one of the things in ethics in the county, when we were growing up, it was an abomination to have a girlfriend. To mention that you have a girlfriend, no, it was an abomination. So we were taught, because throughout the county, missionaries have come to the county from in many places, especially the Baptist missionary, followed by the Catholic and the Presbyterian and other gospel that are there now today. Also, we have the other religion that is there too. So they have been teaching the people on moral rectitude, which is very, very important. It was easy to get married to a virgin, and we are coming back to that. So there is part of having some moral activities, like in the various religious bodies, and making them to set up so that the prizes are given to people that are keeping their virginity, boys and girls keeping their virginity. Prizes are given to them, and there are activities to encourage them. And those who mistakenly have gone into things that they shouldn't have done, enjoying rights that are reserved for marriage, they can be recovered. They could be a recovery class, and the moral teachings will enhance the ethics in marriage, ethics in building a good foundation for families. And that is what I can say, Pastor Commando. Yes, I'm waiting for your questions now.
Oh, sorry. I was talking alone. Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Tata. I think before the colonials came in with immorality, we were already handling some moral instructions in government schools. I remember in 1982, when I came back from my Bible school in Nigeria, I was in Victoria at that time, and I was teaching moral instructions in upper sixth and lower sixth of the government secondary school in Victoria. And after 1 year of those instructions, the principal of the school called me and asked me what he can do for me, because I was doing it free. Because they compared the lives of those people in those classes that I was teaching, upper sixth science and lower sixth science, and their lives were very different, morally speaking. The man was like, oh boy, what can I do for you? I said, I'm here teaching. My younger brother is in a comprehensive high school there in Victoria, and I'm paying a lot of money there. The man said, okay, go bring him here. When I brought him to that school, the man looked at his age and said, no, I should go and change the age. I laughed. I said, Mr. Principal, I'm teaching morals here, and you are telling me to go and do what is immoral? I can't do that. So I better leave him in that school. And, today, the young man is a teacher of the Word of God and a principal of a school in Nigeria. He did not change his age, and I did not try to do that. And when he looks back, he thanked me for not changing his age. Guess what? When I refused, that principal said yes. He's Mr. Tansi. Many people know Mr. Tansi. Yeah, that the Pinyin man. That was the principal at that time. He greeted me with a salute and said, these are the kind of people we need in the society. So what you have said, Dr. Tata, we are going back to it. We are going to implement and ask all our government to allow moral instructions to be given to all schools, whether government school or private school or mission school. We are going to teach morals again in those places, and our children will come back to where we were. Some of us, you and I, we are good today because we had those morals. Yeah, some of the young men that just came up, and some of them are dead. They came behind us, and they found La Republique, and they went into what they call life. They started drinking, went into opium and other narcotines and drugs, and today they are no more. And we are here. So thank you very much for that awareness that we have. Now, I want to find out from you concerning Donga and Mountain County. Do you in Donga and Mountain County have an ethics committee in your LGA or in your county? Do you have an ethics commission? A committee, not commission, committee.
We are working on that.
Okay.
As soon as we get it, we will let you know.
All right. Now, do you know if your ethics, okay, you are working on that because I wanted to find out if they have already joined the Extended Ethics Commission forum, because there's a forum for Extended Ethics Commission, and we have requested every county to send in a candidate or a participant or a person or a representative for their county or their LGA in this ethics forum. So as you are getting ready,
my chairman is ready to do that. That's why he sent me to do the presentation on behalf of Donga Mountain.
All right. Now, do you have a copy of the Ambazonian Ethics Code in your county?
That will I will get back to my chairman on that.
Okay. I would really like to know
in the
Ethics Commission, yeah.
Because if that code was done in AMBER 13, then by default he will have a copy. Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. But we would like to let the chairman, chairlady know about if you have a copy. If not, we can forward a copy to your county. So because we have copies available for the ethics code.
I think the best bet after all these incidents of the coup plotters and the new AMBER 13, the best bet is to give that in that forum of AMBER 13 and the code of ethics. With that, all countries will, yeah.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much. Now, the last but not the least question is, do you as an individual and does the county have a copy of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia?
Yes, of course, you should know that.
that positive answer is very encouraging. You know, we are having this problem because La Republique does not go by constitution. They have a book that is written with some things scribbled inside, but they have never followed it because they are just gloves. France is the one that is giving any dictation to them. And once France says it, it becomes a law. So, but in Ambazonia, we are going to stick to our Bible, which is the Constitution, because the Constitution is like a Bible to a church person. So, our Ambazonian Constitution is our livelihood, and then we must abide to it. So, anybody who doesn't know it will misbehave like the coup plotters, because the Constitution has, just like you have pastors and preachers interpreting the Bible, the Constitution has people that can interpret it when you read it and you don't understand. There are legal people down there that can interpret the Constitution. And that's why we want every Ambazonia to have the Constitution, so that you can cope with the ethical standards that the Ambazonian is talking about. If Kometa and his defunct group had understood the Constitution, they would not have failed and messed up the way they did. But of course, it was to clear us, so that we can now sit in and really build our nation the way we have to build it. I know, Reverend Doctor, that you are a servant of God, and you know the story of Judas Iscariot. So we had them in the interim government, and they started going up by themselves. And if you can listen and look very well, Mr. President, Dr. Samuel Sako, has been very, very patient and exercised patience until the cup of these criminals was full. Some of them, he had a lot of calls, dismiss. But he was patient, and people thought he was foolish. So that is part of ethics. And we want to thank you so much for telling the Ambazonian people that DMC is part of the Ambazonian people that is practicing ethics. And we are sure that as we get back, we shall apply this ethics to all the what did you call the minerals, the resources,
we
other
have
thing.
a
Yeah,
number of factories,
yes,
like
yeah, the factories and
the
other things.
big
Yeah,
deposit. Yeah, the steel industry, the automobile industry, the dairy industry. So
yeah,
ethics in the industry, ethics in agriculture, ethics in
yeah,
education. Do you know that they have done a disfavor? The education we have had all this far is civil service centers education. So it was
right,
not a diversified education. So the ethics
yeah,
value, we make sure that we have technical education, we have other forms of education that will bring people to entrepreneurship centered
right,
type of education, where people can be self-reliant, can be self-employed, and into many areas. Because all this time it is, oh, I am a civil servant, I have a mathematical number, I am integrated. No, sir. We are going to entrepreneurship centered type of education that will make everybody look at America is great today because it is entrepreneurship type centered of education. So we want to make Donga Mountain great again, and it shall be so.
wow. Thank you very much, Dr. Tata. There is one more song from Donga Mantum. When I listened to it, I don't understand what it was all about, but it was so. I saw the people dancing, and I felt that I should dance the song. Yeah, I should dance the song again. So let's get back there, and let me see.
The video?
This is yeah, the
The
video.
video.
Yeah, the video.
Yeah.
Yes, the video. Yes, the video. No. Wow. I think this is not it. Let me see. No, this is not it.
It was the last one.
Yeah, the last one that you sent. I don't know whether The technician is there because I'm seeing only two. It means that he didn't
Okay,
put that one.
do the second. Do the second. No problem.
All right. Okay. The second is coming. This is it. Yeah, doctor, tell us a
Yeah,
little bit. What is it saying?
yeah. It's making us to understand that life does not end only here on earth. That we should
Wow.
prepare for this. The Lord is coming soon, and we should know that
Wow.
life is not doesn't only end here on earth. We should prepare for the coming of the Lord.
Yeah, doctor, let me ask you this question. Um, do you agree with me that Dunga and Mountain has this moral rectitude as a result of their inclination to the hearing the words of the Almighty God?
Absolutely. Do you know that the new LGA is the seat of the Baptist Theological Seminary that produces degrees, I think, to master's degree now.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So the JMBC is one of the oldest schools there, Joseph Merrick Baptist College.
Mm-hmm,
If
mm-hmm,
you take a Joseph Merrick itself, which was named after, and Alfred Seca, that founded Victoria, you can join 1 plus 1 making 2. So you can see that from Victoria right to DMC, there have been some similarities. You will not
mm-hmm.
be surprised how DMC voted with Dr. Endele the opposite during the plebiscite of 1961. You know, GMC and Victoria, and Paco County, they voted on the I mean, after how and they were very good supporters of Prime Minister Endele. You know,
Wow.
and it's you can see the foundation is a moral foundation of
Foundation. Yeah,
the
yeah,
religion. I mean,
yeah.
the Christian religion that really
Right.
shaped
Yeah.
the DMC county. Yeah,
The DMC.
yeah,
Yeah.
the ethical
Wow.
values
That,
there.
yeah, the values were so much. Somebody regretted that if Amazonians at that time, Southern Cameroonians, had the an equivalent of Dr. Endele's education, maybe they
Hmm.
would have stood strong to make our nation to be talking a different language today. And we discovered that today We have many educated Amazonians, very talented, but unfortunately, 3/4 of them have been corrupted by La Republique, that they do not have this moral respect for humanity as La Republique does not have. And they are Amazonians, and they don't have this Indele kind of spirit. I don't know. Is there anything you can comment on the morality of our educated people today who are seemingly not being as human as Endele and some of the people that really want us to go to Boya?
When I left Secretariat in 1975, we were the last batch that took the O-level religious knowledge
London.
in
Okay,
London.
the religious. Okay.
After that,
Okay.
all the O-level that came, they started saying that if you have 5 O-levels with religion, they will count as you have 4.
Wow.
They started saying that, admission to university, you should have maybe 5 O-levels, excluding religious knowledge.
Religion.
That was the beginning. That was the beginning of the downfall.
Yeah.
Other generations that are coming up, why should I go for religious knowledge when it would not going to count for my admission to high school
Exactly.
and eventually
Right.
to university? So
Right.
that was how they technically relegated it. And before you know it, people they were only going in for something that it will be valuable
Will
for
profit
them.
valuable.
Profit them in their career pursuit. So it was that. So, before then, if you were to be employed to teach in the Presbyterian or the Catholic school, or the Baptist school, and other mission school, you know what they will ask you?
Yep.
Do you have RK in your certificate? If you don't have it, you say, thank you, sir. Thank you for coming. The ethical values were well protected. They were well protected. But now
Wow.
it is waning away. They're waning. That's why we have this generation that we have today of so many people that are Amazonians that are on the other side in La Republique. They don't have that value is not in them, because that foundation is not, that ethical foundation have been eroded from that time.
Yeah.
And that's why we need
So
to go back.
meaning that from 1975 they started a deterioration.
Yeah, there
Degradation.
was 1976.
Yeah.
They said
76, sorry,
O
76.
levels without RK. Can you imagine?
Wow. Yeah, that was when they started killing the land.
That one
started
killed
killing our people.
Yeah.
And then some of the people who had actually had the RK and crossed over to La Republique, they tested the forbidden fruit of bribery and corruption.
And that was all. They put it. It was. That's the end of it.
Yeah, and it became what it is today. Well, Amazonians, be comforted and be getting ready, because like our monologue said, we are getting a struggle that is one in the world, very different, in that we are putting the moral rectitude in place. And that's why we are coming with these teachings, so that those of you, even on home front, as I've been talking about the Geneva Convention, and some people are shouting here and there, that Geneva Convention is also inclusive, because it's actually a moral aspect. They call it Geneva Convention, but it's a moral aspect. And we expect Amazonians who are of a very high standard of morality to continue to keep it. You will not lose our reward, because this land has been given back to us by God. Yes, should we fight? Yes, definitely, we should fight. But let's observe some rules when it comes to that particular rule to be observed. And don't think you are a loser, because nobody can ever win somebody who is right. Yeah, it doesn't matter how much lies and wrong runs you make it. That's why we come on ABC to teach our people to learn to talk the truth, because it will make you completely free. All right, I don't know if our technician had that last video. It was wonderful. I don't. When I look back, I hear these songs like the ones in the late '60s and the early '70s, when we had our moral values. When you are dancing a moral song, you are giving praise to the immortal God, and you can really feel in your spirit that you are not in this life, and we want to get back to that situation. Well, Doctor, we want to thank you so much. I think our technician has not come out with that video yet, but we shall have time, God helping us, to go back to it. We would like you to say your last words to the people of Ambazonia from Donga and Mantum, who are actually watching you now, and the Ambazonian people who are benefiting from the ethical plans of Donga and Mantum to make a whole Ambazonia. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, in an emerging country like Donga Mantum, we have a lot of areas, a lot. We have love in our toolbox. And for all these things to function well, if there is no ethical values, if there is no ethical education, we will be frustrated. We will not enjoy all these ones. So that is why in the next series of broadcasts ahead, when we are called here, and each time we have opportunity, we will make sure that we embark fully on ethical education. Stay tuned, and we encourage you to always tune to ABC for Ethics for Emerging Nation. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
That's it.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, our technician, for bringing us to that point. I am praying, Doctor, that I have seen our land spiritually. I want to get there physically before I go home. So we are going to get there. Once again, thank you for coming. And the Ethics Commission appreciates the people of Nonga Amantum. And we just want you to again say a word in the country talk to greet them and tell them to come, join the LGAs, and then contribute their quota for the fight that is going on before we actually go out of the studios. Over to you.
Ako District, Ndelgemanya, Amantering, Mr. J District, a salute. Mr. J, LJ, Ako LJ, a salute winner. A salute Nkambe, a salute Ndu, a salute Nwa. And we look ahead, say we could make sure say we educate. Melani sibilo yamu sibigi bu bongbong. Mechani wimbom Nkambe LJ kirba bimi kuya LJ. Berry sine sibiyani mimno. Thank you so much. We're looking forward one day that we'll meet again to talk more.
Sibera Yangsi, Sibere.
Siberi.
Siberi Liwe. All right,
Siberi.
Good night and God bless all of you in Ambazonia. Over to you.
To the Midland and the Atlantic, Ambazonia has risen to fall no more. Ambazonia rise.
Dear Ambazonians on the home front and diaspora.
Dear Ambazonia freedom fighters in the home front and in the diaspora.
The Ethics Commission of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia is coming out to alert you that it is becoming more and more evident that the former British Southern Cameroons, aka Ambazonians, will soon emerge as the newest nation in the world.
We are calling on all of us to start preparing to receive Ambazonia as parents prepare to receive their firstborn child. Malcolm X said, tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today. We are already very educated, talented, and very rich in natural resources. Do all this guarantee a safe and prosperous Ambazonia? The answer is an emphatic no. Theodore Roosevelt said, to educate a person in the mind but not in morals is to educate a menace in society.
Ambazonians, it is time to start planning to restore our cultural and social values that characterize us as a people of good repute. Before our Republic to Cameroon invasion, we were respectful of each other, of the law, and of our culture. We earned our living through honest hard work, making clean money for ourselves.
Our values helped us to maximize the benefits of our natural resources as well as our human resources. Southern Cameroons were serene and clean, simply beautiful in spirit and in the physical. We all long for such a place to call home, and we can make it happen by God's grace.
Our local government areas and counties, are you prepared? Do you have an ethics commission in your local government areas, counties to serve as a moral compass for you? Do you have a copy of the Ambazonia Ethics Code and the Constitution?
All arms of government, do you have an ethics agency? Departments of DSS, HSS, Communications and IT, Education, DHACM, DFA, and DEINR. Do you have ethics agency to serve as a moral compass for your departments?
Ambazonians, you need to know your rights by reading the Ethics Code and the Constitution.
Shame unethical behavior and reward good behavior in your communities. Hold leaders accountable. Be the watchdog of your communities and governments. See something, say something.
The church, you are the main research center of moral principles with the responsibility of moralizing the society. How effective are you outside the church building?
Maya Angelou said, when you know better, then you do better. Ambazonians, watch Ethics for an Emerging Ambazonia every Friday at 10 p.m. Amba time.
exclusively on ABC Amber TV. Stay tuned.